Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to do a video in references to my last video that I made. That I'm talking about my Captain Caveman review that I mentioned that was on one of those VH1 I Love the 70's shows. So that's what I'm going to do for you now. Review of all these I Love, the Decade series. They started doing the VH1 started doing the series back in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, and then eventually they did one with I Love the New Millennium. And I haven't cut any of those episodes yet of the New Millennium shows, but I have seen I Love the 70's, I Love the 80's, and I Love the 90's shows, at least the majority of them. Well, of course, when I took these episodes, I made like 10 episodes of each one of these series. To cover each one of the major news stories, or movies, television shows, and games that we used to play with back in these, and came out in that particular year. And I thought it was fun because it's a nice piece of nostalgia, at least for me, because I was born in 1971. So I'm now 43 years old. I'll be 44 in this coming July. So I grew up I was born in the 70's, so I remember a lot of that stuff that came out then. Not every little thing, but I do remember that some toys were advertised like for years in the 70's, board games, whatever. And then, of course, in the 80's, we remember more stuff. And in the 80's, I think it was the only series when the VH1 did, they made 3 different shows. They did I Love the 80's. And of course, they couldn't cram everything in those shows, so they made a second one. But I Love the 80's Strikes Back. And then they did they didn't cram enough stuff, so they made a third series called I Love the 80's 3D. Because that was when 3D movies started coming back into movie theaters by then. So I thought it was all fun. And actually, of course, in each one they have babes of 1980 or hunks of 1980. Classic commercials in some cases, or public service announcements and stuff like that. And of course, I also talk about different cartoon series, and of course the big movies that came out, which is all, fun if you want to look back and enjoy the times when you were a kid. I highly recommend these shows. And of course, in the 90's, I think the 90's only made like 2 versions, to my knowledge. I love the 90's. I love the 90's Part 2. And of course, in reference to the Hot Shots movies that came out in the mid 90's. And of course, I Love the Millennium. I haven't really checked those shows out, so I can't really give a proper comment on. But I don't know if they're going to do another series after that. I'm surprised they haven't done a series like I Love the 60's. I'm surprised that VH1 just did the 70's, 80's, and 90's, and the New Millennium, but not going back and do like the 1960's. I am trying to find. I know they did a second version for the 70's series. I Love the 70's Volume 2, and fortunately I have not. I think they were up for a while. I think it was like, taken down or something like that. But if anybody has that, please send me the link so I can watch those videos, because I really want to watch those things. Because that's one of the few shows that unfortunately I think is still up on YouTube, and I really do, to this day, still really enjoy watching. Because every time you do a marathon entry, I'm not going to sit there in front of my TV for 10 hours. I'm not going to do that. If I watch like 2 or 3 episodes in a row, it's enough. It's enough of a stretch for me. And every time I try to go back, try and catch up the episodes, I will usually miss something or miss an episode or whatever. But I do enjoy watching the I Love series, the VH1's did. But I think they did a good job. Even though to my opinion, they did too many quick cuts, and the celebrities they have, or the B, C, and D list celebrities that appear on these shows, they put in too many sarcastic comments. For me, I mean, they did do positive stuff a lot of the times, but also more times than not, they make it like a sarcastic remark or poke fun of, oh, I can't believe that we used to play with Ricky Dinks. It was like one comment. You can't believe that we didn't have anything else to do to make this thing, and it's supposed to be fun. I mean, come on. Richard don't mind them saying that, but I do remember a lot of the stuff that was running on, especially a lot of the cheesy board games that came out in the 70's, in particular. Like when they had Connect 4, I still have my Connect 4 board game, by the way. They mentioned that. They mentioned, like those big wheels. I used to remember there used to be a bunch of kids in my club that used to have a big wheel. I never got one. I never had one personally, but they used to have that. They used to have. I remember they used to have a game they actually used to have called Don't Tip the Waiter. It was like a cardboard waiter. You used to tip rock back and forth, and you're supposed to put like dual plastic circles, which are called like pongs. I think was they call. You could put it on the top of on the waiter's tray, and the person who was that enough trays so the way actually tips over and spills all the fake food on, you win. If you're not the one who doesn't tip the waiter. There's also a whole game called Staying Alive, which is like a little marble game. I don't have that Staying Alive game anymore, or the Don't Tip the Waiter game anymore. But I also do remember I actually had this game, Operation. I remember that thing. So there's a lot of things that I actually remember when I was a kid, and they brought up and they bring back memories for me. Plus, they're talking about television shows and cartoons that I grew up watching. So it was fun. And then I love the 70's twice. They brought up Brady Bunch. They went to the 1971, and I love 1972 because they brought up the Hawaii episode. Which was surprised that nobody really come and, oh my god, we see Marsha in the bikini. Oh wow, great fun. Nobody brought that up. But them seeing all these shows. Oh, I think one guy made a comment about, oh, I'll do Florence Henderson right now. So, what I mean by having sex, when I have sex with Florence Henderson, right, and do that right now. Florence Henderson was so hot, so hot then and so hot now, that type of stuff. But all those types of sexual innuendo comments, I mean, those stuff that turned me off, like that. But in terms of the shows themselves, I feel that those shows are entertaining enough for what they were, and like I said earlier, it brings a great nostalgia, especially, and kids today can make fun of look all the crap that we played with and all that stuff. Of course, kids today, if they see those shows now, VH1, which I don't think they've aired in a long time. Let's say, how come you don't play with computers? Hey Dad, hey Mom, how come you don't go online? How come you don't check out the internet? How come you don't check out stuff on YouTube or Facebook or whatever? The simple fact is, those stuff didn't exist to the 90's. And Facebook didn't exist to maybe like in the 2000s. So it goes to show you how far technology has come since the 70's, or even the 90's, early 90's, when most people didn't have computers in their home. It wasn't until when the internet started taking off, that's when people started buying computers. I didn't own my first computer until 1998. So it goes to show you how much people buy technology and how much has changed. Especially television has changed, the technology has changed, and movies have changed. Everything has changed during my lifetime. Before my 43 years of living, how much everything has changed when I was a kid compared to what it is now. So the review of the I Love the 70's shows, or the I Love 70's, 80's, and 90's shows. I know those are pretty much most of those shows are on YouTube, so I suggest you check them out if you've never seen those shows before, because those shows are really They really are fun to watch. So that's my video of the I Love Decade series of VH1's done. Please check out. Please feel free to comment on. Feel free to rate this video. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, and please follow this video on your Facebook pages. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.